going to be very candid. Well, hello to nobody online. I'm Dave Markle, and with your Pacific Trail District Cub Scout Roundtable Commissioner. And I want to welcome you guys to the breakout tonight, which is the aims and methods of Cub Scouting. And go ahead with the next one, right?
Oh, I clicked it, I swear.
Okay, so brief introductions. I'm going to have everyone go around and introduce themselves and their roles. And then I'll do a quick plug for Wood Badge, and then we'll go into our big rock topic, which is the aims and methods of Cub Scouting. So tonight there will not be a Cub Grub, and there will not be a song, just because, truth be told, I was in Seattle for work this week and drove down this afternoon back home and really didn't have time to work on updating and figuring stuff out. So sorry if you were hoping for treats and a new song. So next, again, Dave Markle, Roundtable Commissioner. I'm the former Cub Master of Pack 383, did 4 years of that, and finally got a new volunteer to take over for that, thank God. Committee member currently at Pack 383, and there's my contact information if you need it. So, all right. So, Wood Badge. I know Josh is plenty of times and they're trying to go. Have you done Wood Badge?
I've not.
You done Wood Badge? All right. So, and Ray's done Wood. I've done Wood Badge. It's a shameless plug for Wood Badge. For the council's doing theirs in April and May at View Creek, and cost has gone up a little bit. It's gone up to $15. But again, a lot of the units might help subsidize that for their units, so their leaders are Wood Badge trained, or some corporations might consider that professional development and count that as your annual performance or personal development plan. So if you can do that, I know we had some leaders do that, and the company paid for it, which is fantastic. Because the PAC and the scouting program got a lot out of leaders who've gone through this. And if you're not fully versed in the scouting universe and are new to it, it's a great way to get immersed into the program, understand what it's all about and why we do what we do, and how that translates from the Cub Scout program all the way through the BS. View Creek Ranch this year, both sessions, and it's 2 weekends. They got rid of the 1 week class, and it's now mostly 2 weekends. It's maybe 1 weekday during the first session, just so we would minimize the amount of FTO people have to take from work to attend this, because we're all volunteers. But you must be a registered leader. You must be position trained, so you need to have your trained badge for your position in the PAC and completed, any of the basic training courses for your role. If you have any questions or concern, I would go to the PAC, go to the council site and look it up, and it's coming up quick. So please plan for it if you can. All right. Aims and methods of Cub Scouting. Next. Okay, so if you don't already know this, the mission of the Scouts BSA is to prepare young people to make ethical and moral choices over their lifetimes by instilling in them the values of the Scout Oath and Law. So that is the main goal of scouting. So everyone might think it's about camping and making fires and parades. It's making ethical and moral decisions through the whole lifetime, starting with the foundation of Scout Oath and Law. So with that in mind, I think, okay, I'm on board for that. So scouting utilizes games with a purpose. The aims and methods of scouting help us to understand the underlying principles of scouting. Lord Baden-Powell said, scouting is a game with a purpose. So the aims are the purpose. So help scouts become better people, realize their potential as they move into their futures. And then the methods of scouting are the games, the outdoor activities, service project meetings, events that scouting uses to guide its members towards the worthwhile aims of the program. So that's all going to coalesce into getting those things accomplished that we talked about, moral and ethical decisions. So the 10 purposes of Cub Scouting, specifically, are related to the overall mission of the BSA program. And, we try to work together to achieve these things. So 1 is character development, 2, spiritual growth, good citizenship, sportsmanship and fitness, family understanding, respectful relationships, personal achievement, friendly service, fun and adventure, which is obviously the best part of it, and then preparation for Scouts BSA. So getting them ready to become full-on BSA Scouts. So the ideas of scouting. So the underlying aims is based on a solid foundation around the Scout Oath and Law, the scout sign, the handshake, the motto, and the salute. So, okay, you're a time machine and wait. So, thinking about scout camp. Okay, next. Think about your youth that are currently in Cub Scouts right now. Now, if you think about those scouts that are right now and where they're going to be 10 years in the future, what might they be doing? What are they, where are they living? How are they spending their time? Okay, so think about your scouts now and where they're going to be in 10 years. Now, write down, in this case, not necessarily write this, but think in your head, what are some of the qualities that those scouts today will be exhibiting in the future that they've gained from their current experiences? So think about activities you're doing, things you hope that they do in BSA, they're done in 10 years. And think about it in your head. So let's see if some of these come up. Okay, so let's see what you're. Did any of you think of having developed better character, be good citizens, being relatively fit, or exhibiting any type of leadership position in their job or in their community service or in their church or any kind of social group that they're in? So those are the aims of scouting. So there are methods for us to achieve some of this or get them on that path. So go ahead. So we have to live by the ideals. Part of it's belonging to a den, celebrating advancement, having the family involved, which we all know as Cub Scout leaders, it is imperative that family involvement, activities, serving the community, and the uniform. All right, so these methods are incorporated into all the aspects of the program. And through these methods, Cub Scouting happens in the lives of Scouts and their families. So again, especially in Cub Scouts, this is the key where the family is probably the most important piece in the Cub Scout program because, we're preparing them to leave the family to a certain extent and join scouting family with the troop. So next, every Cub Scout activity should fulfill one of these purposes, which is when considering a new activity, ask which purpose or purposes it supports. So, doing something for the sake of just doing something isn't a good idea. Well, like what of the aims we're trying to figure out is they going to learn this? So, for instance, we go take the kids curling or learning to curl as part of the physical fitness part, about learning something new, working as a team because there's a team involved in that, and so things like that. There's a purpose to the activity, and not everything has to be serious. So obviously, songs and energetic games, creating snacks together, even skits, teamwork, having fun, learning to work together. And so all these things are the purpose of helping these build the BSA character development, citizenship training, and personal fitness. I mean, actually, at summer camp, you see some of the skits they do. They got to be pretty fit to do some of the stuff they're doing. Living the ideals of scouting. So Cub Scouting's values are embedded in Scout Oath Law and Cub Scout motto and Cub Scout sign intention. These practices help to establish and reinforce the program's values in Scouts and the leaders who guide them. So obviously, we have to all embody what we expect the Scouts to be doing. And these teach good citizenship and contribute to a Scout sense of belonging. So again, I think everyone deserves a trained leader. We try to do our best, and with hopefully, as we try to get volunteer parents to help us, hopefully they want to engender and embody the same attributes we're trying to teach them. Obviously, not so good if they don't, but everyone can use it. Maybe even the parents learn something through their journey with their scout, the program. So belonging to a den, youth like to be part of a group. So that's the point of having the den. And small groups of 6 to 8 youth. Now, hopefully, folks, 6 to 8. I'd be lucky if you have 6 to 8 you have 3 in the den?
Now I had 2.
Okay, well, hey.
But I was going to ask, it still says same gender, so I thought they really relaxed that where we have mixed gender.
What? Yeah, so this is older material. But the things, they can be mixed. Like, we have a family pack.
That's right. I have
so, of course, now we have 11 in the den, but we won't split into 2 because we're all doing the same stuff.
Yeah, we got the same thing with our AOLs now, and it's been a big den all the way through.
Yeah. We started with 3, then it went up to 8, then we had 16.
Yeah.
Now we'll whittle it down to 11. We have 11 AOLs in our
active. That flows through the program.
Correct. Yeah. So it cup and then it kind of crescendos comes down. You lose some.
16. You kept 16 together.
We had 16. We had 16 through
a few months.
Well, through Bear and beginning of We Blow 1, and then by the AOL time we lost. Okay, so we're down to 11.
I think 12 or 14, we went through the Weeblo year. I think it was, and it was.
Well, a lot of kids decided that they want to concentrate on sports a lot.
And the Cub Master.
We lost kids to all year baseball nowadays, you know, and all year soccer. And so it's tough because they have to make that commitment. You know, I guess you can't do both. We have some try to do both, but we definitely lose them to our activities in lieu of practice. So, but anyway, hey, we say as long as they got something on the program, then that's great. Youth to develop new skills and interests. They practice sportsmanship and good citizenship, and they learned how to do their best, not just for themselves, but for their den. So again, the den is their team, and hopefully it's also the group they're going to go through scouting with. So that's why you can keep them together. It's always better with a friend, and if you can keep them together, hopefully they get through the program together. Hence, you know, peer pressure. Just stick together. Let's finish this together. Advancement. So recognition is very key. Everyone likes to be rewarded or be recognized for things that they do. So it's important to recognize and celebrate at PAC meetings the advancement of the things that the scouts are doing in all their dens. So if that's not part of the PAC program, you know, it needs to be or should be as far as celebrating the advancement in one way, shape, or form, and also at the den level, but definitely at the PAC level. And then family involvement. You know, when you, especially like Bobcat and other things, you know, bring up the parent. I know that we wait to do full-on rank advancement till the end of the year, and parents always come up and help remove the regalia, put the new one on, and get the parent pins. And so keep the parents involved, having them be part of the program. We could do better. We're trying to involve the non-registered volunteer to be part of the PAC, or maybe get them into a skit, or help out with other things. But, you know, the key is keep trying, because the more they get asked to do something, the more that they feel they're part of the PAC. That just. And activities, huge array, different things, skits, stunts, songs, outdoor activities, trips, service projects. You know, besides having fun, they offer opportunities for growth, achievement, and family involvement. Again, scouting for food, whether they're doing popcorn sales or wreath sale or picking up trees or whatever. It's parents involved walking around with the scouts is part of them being involved too with their community. So the community service is not just their scouting. That minute, like the parade, we participated in the Beaverton parade. That was a lot of fun, and probably going to do it again. We haven't done it in forever, and then we were in it this year. And it was pretty easy walk, and it was a lot of fun to be kind of be part of the community. And then meetings. Scouts typically meet twice per month with their den. Now I know that our PAC, we are lucky to get one meeting in a month in addition to the PAC meeting for the den. But I know as we got into Bear, Weeblo, Arrow of Light tend to be at least two, just because you're not going to get through everything without pre-planning meetings before you have to do the implementation of the activity. So if you can have more than that, I know some places if they as part of, they might meet every week. I know some PACs meet every week. So depending on the dynamic of the PAC, if you could be more often, hey, great. But at least once or twice per month for the day.
Youngest daughter who's now in BSA, their AOL, they met every week. It kind of helps prepare them for Scouts BSA because they meet
every Monday.
Right? So it kind of gets them, like, we have scouts one night a week, right?
Yeah.
So, and they need it. There's a lot to be done.
Yeah, especially when they're having a plan and doing stuff.
The alternative is you just basically have to skip any fun parts of the meeting.
Yeah, it goes straight to the
turn into school.
Tuesday is Scout night for us, right? But then the second Tuesday of every month, we set aside for just the parents to meet so we can organize the program.
Great.
Right. And that worked out pretty well. But.
And I definitely, if you having a monthly meeting for the, we don't call it PAC committee so much, and because people think that you have to be part of the committee before. We just call it parent meeting.
It's parent meeting.
Yeah, parent meeting. That's just anyone's invited, and you need it. And the more that they participate,
I think there might be something to be said though about trying to do a PAC event on the same day every day of the month, because then parents aren't tricked into scheduling baseballs or other activities on those days, and if they can.
Last Tuesday of the month is PAC meeting.
Yeah.
Your dens meet at the same spot?
No, that depends on
scattered different days.
Scattered different days and locations depending on the volunteer parent. We default to that. they decide where it's going to be. So some folks will have to rent the school. Others, their garage or their living room is big enough. Yeah.
Is too. I know other packs, like you're saying, it's the pack meets every Wednesday or whatever, and then one week a month might be a pack meeting, and then the other nights it's den meetings. All the dens meet at the same time, same place, and just different.
They just different rooms, or depending on.
Again, we're real lucky. Our facility is the Rocky Christian Center just up the road there, right? So we're real lucky that we have a facility where we can do that and then split up.
That's the key. Is if you have
I wish we had been able to evolve ours there, because it also allows for, you know, if the leader is not available, you can have 3 leaders cover 2 dens.
Yeah.
You get all sorts of magic.
Yeah, we've done that. I mean, so we currently have one wolf where, and I'm super stoked at the wolf den leader we actually got. So a kid and his dad came in, they're super motivated, which is great. Now we need to grow that den to be more than one kid. But in the meantime, we're teaming them up with bears.
right, because you want to get a critical mass of scouts, right? And that's difficult. So depending if you're lucky enough to have a unit with multiple scouts in the same den age group, then you're lucky. Because again, it's way better with a buddy or a few. So
Thanks, Dave.
yeah, we'll do that. Thank you. And then we're almost there. We're almost there. And then servicing the neighborhood. So actually, Cub Scouting focuses on the home and the neighborhood. It helps Scouts strengthen their connections to their local communities, which in turn supports their growth and development. So I know in my neighborhood, you know, they're not a lot of Cub Scouts, but people know we're the Cub Scout house because we were around selling wreaths, and I have the yard sign, and funny how many people say, you know, they're still Cub Scouts. I live near Champions Park, so we go in our pretty much every month service project is to go and pick up trash. We bought grabbers, and we take our bags out and we pick up trash. There's always trash around Champions Park near the fences and everything. So we do that. People always wonder, I mean, they did wear the scout hats. So we are taking care of our neighborhood, and people see that scouts are doing it. So, and it's always coming compliments. But it just shows that not for the scouting thing, they probably wouldn't have thought twice about, you know, going to the park not to play, but to actually help clean up and make it nicer. So, yeah, I think scouts being an area helps the community.
Does that work into recruiting for you guys? I mean, does that?
It could, but I know that people have asked, and they'll tell me, and I say, well, you know, I'm going to be a scout because, you know, a lot of people don't always. Champions Park draws a lot of different people from all areas of Beaverton. So, you know, they're just surprised to know that there's Cub Scouts scouting still going on, and it's like, oh, I remember when I was scout. It's like, yeah, we're still here, you know. And
you can get lucky, but yeah, it's more likely to be one of the impressions that someone like I'm trying to accomplish, so that, you know, at the time they're like, all right, I get
I mean, we try to get out in public in our uniforms as much as we can, right? Like, we're starting to build relationships with Lumber Farms, just up the road, and you know.
One thing that TAC was involved with started doing is when we happen to meet in parks or whatever, because like we needed to stay out there, is we would put out those yard signs. And it made it more approachable. If we put out a sign like that, people were more willing to just sort of walk up and talk.
Yeah. Otherwise,
I don't know that we ever successfully recruited that way, but we made impressions.
And even if I got somebody to think about scouting and they looked on and going a different feeling, the key is that, hey, they thought it was a good idea. So we have people join up, and I don't recall them even being on a list of parents that were at a recruiting event that we had, or sign up sheet. They were just, hey, all of a sudden they are. And the thing is, too, our PAC has had a good relationship with the school. And the school allows us or asks us to do the flag for every assembly now. This is the second year we're doing it. And that provides a lot of visibility.
What school?
We're at Cooper Mountain Elementary. You know, so yeah. So the thing is, we're just lucky that our COR was able to have a good relationship with the school principal, because we know that the BSD Beaver School has a lot of control over everything, and kind of tough. So the fact that the principal does what she can to partner with the PAC rather than push us off and say deal with BSD, then I think that collaboration has allowed us to do more and be more visible. You know, like they asked us to build a little mini library during COVID, so we built it. It's right by the main drop is by the front door and painted in Scout colors and everything. And so it has a plaque that says who built it, Pack 33. So people who know and walk by know that there's an active pack.
I know we have actually recruited new members because we do the flag ceremony.
I was about to say that doing the flag ceremony at school would be, yeah, I mean, I bet that would be a big recruiting
and
thing. The other 500 people in the target demographic in your
exactly. They're like,
there's literally nothing, no better.
And the cool thing is the first couple of times we did it, the student body, they didn't even know what was going on, sort of thing. But after 2, 3, 4 of these assemblies, it's just cool watching all these little kids pick up on it, and it's we got to do the
Pledge of Allegiance
thing, and you got to stand still and quiet, and the whole student body.
Those kids have uniforms. Those kids have cool blue shirts, right?
Exactly, and we have lines on, right? So we have in the lines already on that too. So it's really great, and again, that definitely is more like a recruiting thing, but hopefully you can tie that to wherever your school is or where your main school is for a draw. And then the uniform. Uniform's a big piece of showing that you're part of something, that you have a purpose. It allows you to show also your advancement. And because we want to recognize advancement, people want to show what they've done. Encourages the need of parents and good behavior. Now, granted, it's gotten a little loose, I think, when it comes to the uniform, because frankly, we just want people to be in scouting and join scouting, and not everyone can put a kit completely together. But we do our best. We have an inspection pack meeting where we talk about all the elements of the uniform, what you should be bringing, what you had. And so I think they do a pretty good job, but I think it could be better. We have some scouts who never want to tuck in their shirt, or they'll never wear the belt, which is where you pull your hoops.
And my own son, right? Like he didn't. I finally just for the first time got him into jeans, snaps, belt loops and everything, right?
Yeah, the new program is focused on belt.
Well, honestly, it'd be easier if things were just a sash because the kids.
If you had the sash where
like my daughter she's a scout, but she doesn't like wearing the belt. She wears a skirt. The skirt, I guess the skirt has belt loops.
Yeah,
but she doesn't necessarily like the belt, but she'd be happy to wear a sash. So she'd rather wear the belt as a bandolier like Chewbacca. But I told her, that's better than nothing. At least you still have your bandolier with all your things on. So, and my son hates wearing a neck chip. He feels it's like a good necktie. Like that. I like a necktie. But so he's excited about going to BSA because they're not heavy on the neck chip. So anyway, but the uniform is part of the look, part of being part of the team, making everyone part of the same group, and it's visibility and the neat look. I mean, again, it goes a long way, and I think the visibility piece, everyone's still surprised because there's always a smile on people's face when they see scouts. From my experience, there's never been a frown. And anyway, I like the uniform, and I think kids definitely look snappy in it. And when we have a pack, we have our own pack uniform bank now that one of our leaders joined us, one of their with badge tickets. And we've collected stuff there, so we've already handed out Lion t-shirts, and that goes out the quickest, and a lot of the smaller uniforms so we've been able to do that and get them as much as we can of the kit as possible, including certain patches and number of numerals and such. But it does help because we know that scouting is not necessarily a cheap endeavor, but definitely well worth the cost. It still could be a challenge to get uniformed up, and we want to get people uniformed, including them.
Yeah, I was about to say that's one of the things I found. The kids are self-conscious about wearing a uniform. Some think it's cool, others are pretty self-conscious about it. Mm-hmm. I find that like the dens where the leaders will actually wear the uniforms as adults, the kids are a lot more willing to do it. If you're not even willing to put your shirt on.
Exactly.
Den leaders 100%. We always.
Yeah, I can't expect my son to dress up if I choose not to wear. Or even my wife, she's a den leader now. She's got the full thing. So I'll wear my neck chip so that they wear their neck chip. So, okay. Anybody have questions about the aims and methods of scouting or the Cub Scouting program? Anyone have any questions? I mean, you know it. You guys are in it. You've lived it.
I have found that it's very useful when talking with parents, prospective families. I mean, obviously, I don't rattle off, page after page, bullet points, but you hook them. I found you hook them with the discussion of the outlook stuff. and then you talk about what it's really about. And you know, I might use the line about game with a purpose, but it's, you know, but what really seems to help is to have this concrete example. Like, I can't remember if the Tiger Magic Adventure was one of the ones cut, but I used that one as an example when I was talking, because what I would use it as an example to teach them what the adventures were really trying to do. In that I would say that, you know, the kids think they're learning magic tricks, and I suppose they are. But the real point is that the last requirement is that they get in front of the pack, which is 50 kids, 150 parents, and they have to get up and talk loud and do something. And a lot of the parents are like, I would have a heart. Yeah. And I can't imagine my, you know, like, it's amazing to think that my 6-year-old is going to do that.
Yeah. Because public speaking is one of our biggest fears. And I mean, that's why it is a required class in college. But to get, I mean, even adults, even when I went to Wood Badge and I jumped into scouting, like right after not doing it forever, I was kind of mortified about singing camp songs out of the pocket radio. Because you're performing in front of people you don't know, and I'm having to be silly and I'm thinking to myself, Jesus, it's tough for me. It's gonna be tough for my kids to do this game too. So it does get them inoculated into the idea of, you know, being in front of people and that you can do it and it's not going to hurt. And if anything, every time you do it, the more confident and comfortable you are with it. So yeah, it goes from adults to kids. It's a scary thing. So the fact that they're doing it at this age, some people might not ever. I know some people never had to say anything in front of people until they went to their freshman college class where they were forced to do public speaking class. And boy, if there's any class that gave them knots, it was that one. So anyway, scouting does give them the opportunity with every skit and song they come up and do to kind of slowly break away some of that fear. So that's a great one.
Well, you know, one of the selling points for me, and as truthful of personal experiences, is that, you know, building the community, right? Like I tell people all the time, you know, that my son and one of his friends were bouncing around the house. My wife said, "Go be A's kids." And so what they did, they got on their bikes and they rode around the neighborhood and they collected, you know, 4 other kids, came back to our house, and we're running around chasing the chickens and doing all that stuff, just having fun, being boys, right? And I came home from work, and with all this happening down here, my wife is upstairs working. These kids they're great kids. And I knew every single one of those kids. I knew every single one of them was great. I knew every one of their parents. I had every one of their parents' contact information because they were all scouts. They were all part of our scouting community, right? And so, I mean, for me, that's been the one of the big sells, and that's one of the things I talk to people about. It's like we built friends, we built a community that looks out for the kids and each other, right? And so that's one of the big selling points as well, right?
Sure.
Is we're trying to build that. It's a community,
right?
We're building.
Buddy system, YPT, all that stuff is looking at and being safe, and but knowing that they're in the same circle of friends, and you know, it's all about the friends you keep.
Yeah.
You know, and that I would feel great knowing that my kids are hanging out with other scouts. You know, and you know, they know that what they should be doing. They know about being clean. They know about being respectful.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is,
and they know about having fun together.
Correct. Right. Yes, and being creative and having fun. You know, but all of that. So again, it's that's why I believe in the scouting program. That's one of the things that got me hooked in saying, okay, I got to do more. I got to volunteer. And so again, the more we can share, like you're saying, Josh, about hooking the parents and getting them into the whole why we do it, and not so much just what is very on the face what scouting is, what the real outcome is supposed to be. That's the part that they should be really. I want that from the kids. So
it's also probably going to be. This is an interesting topic, and I think this is going to be an important one to hold on to this year over the next 12 months during the transition of the program, as a lot of favorites go away and new things come in, and change is hard. And I think it'll be important to occasionally bring the fact back to that the new and old program will hit the mission in the end. I assume so. I'm still waiting to hear more about the new program.
Yeah, I'm waiting with bated breath. It's changing.
So, I mean, I'm sorry, I missed the first part of it. What's the new program?
Oh, that has to do with it.
It's not, yeah, it's not about tonight, but I think they're changing.
Bobcat's becoming an adventure for every rank. They're renaming Weeblos 2 to just AOL.
Yeah.
And so there's just going to be Weeblos and AOL.
Which makes sense.
And
That's why we've been calling it.
yeah.
Well,
AOL.
it's been separate. This change was.
But a lot they're
Saying
still
you can't
referred to
work
as
on
Weeblos
electric
AOL in a
across
lot of places. And they're just
Yeah,
dropping the
Weeblos
Weeblos name off of fifth grade.
You get started early.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are
It's a little,
big
I mean,
changes.
that doesn't sound like it's a drastic.
There's a lot of other things. Whittling chips gone away and been broken.
Oh yeah, all of the awards, like your
Nova,
the Nova, the shooting sports, they're all going to be
within the rank.
or
It's used within each.
Oh, they're like elective adventures.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so they won't be as complex of a.
Correct. And it's not gonna be like a standalone thing. You're gonna have one for each rank for, I guess.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, some of the information, I don't think much of it has been yet.
Oh, even at U of S, it wasn't it's still kind of a fuzzy.
Like,
if you
see the requirements.
have you seen the video they released for the camp staff, camp program directors to start reviewing? That's on YouTube. I shared it with my pack.
What do you have to see at the national level? You guys are working on stuff, so any commentary and.
I'm still recording.
Yeah, no,
So I emailed council. I released a full PowerPoint presentation that can be released down to the unit levels at a presentation that gives the full overview of the entire program. All the changes, all the STEM activities, the new Den Leader experience is being retired, the old Den Leader experience is being retired. Everything is being focused on the Den Leader's line of sight, so planning is easier. It's a great presentation. Council wants to regroup after Seabase. This is this next week, where there are a bunch of them are going out to Seabase in Florida to get trained on this, and then figure out how they want to roll it out to everybody. So the information is ready to go. The best way to watch what's going on is Cub Chat Live. National has a website too. There's a link tree with all the links. There's like 4 links on there. Some podcasts too, and every Friday they're releasing about an hour show of the details of each program.
Cool.
they've got a national connection right here.
I think units are going to need to schedule a lot of time.
Yeah,
we're both the zip, right? We're done. Our kids are crossing.
Yeah, exactly. My son's passing over.
Right. So, but I am super concerned about the Den Leader experience, right? This is the thing. It's been an incredible experience for me and my son, right? Like, and this is what I talk about. This is one of the things I talk about too when I'm pitching scouts to the kids. For me personally, with my son, for us to be going through scouting for the first time together, has been amazing. As a Den Leader, you and I have talked about this a million times. How many times have you been going, oh shoot, at the end of the workday on Tuesday, you're flipping through the book, like, what can I pull off in the next, getting gathered up in the next hour, right? So when you're talking about the Den Leader experience, the line of sight thing, I'm trying to tell me more about that so I can recruit.
So I've been on this committee, the National Cub Scout committee, for the last 3 years, and my son and Dan just crossed over into people.
Yeah.
And so I was experimenting with my Dan with these new innings and means of how to do a Dan or how to do them.
Right.
And so we got to do the family pack thing in our Den and our pack efforts, and then started planning out combining things like we were taking STEM activities and blue activities and putting them together and having like this.
So you're building something
Exactly.
while you're working on the science.
So like one of the things we did was we took the technology STEM activity and learned about a VR headset. And so then we used the Oculus VR headset with the app that does you're balancing on a beam over a city, then you're gonna fall off of it. And so they learned how to measure using that in VR, but they built a plane of two-let floors and woods. They had to build aspects of it and learn how to use saws and hammers and nails, and then they got the actual plane. play on that plank in VR and balance on that. And having the parents come out and do that it was fun to show the science aspect of it, the skill aspect of it. But again, doing all that is a lot of time.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. And so I worked on a lot of the STEM stuff, but also the den leader experience. And the den leader line of sight is what we kind of just kept talking about. If it's not in our blue, it's not going to get done. I don't have time to go after this award or this extra activity. I'm not going to do it because I haven't done it in the park yet.
Right.
And so if it's not my line of sight, it's not getting done.
That's right. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's over the last 5 years. That's been it for me, right? It's like, okay, let's focus on the requirements. Let's get the requirements done, and then, you know, every year you've got an elective or two to do, which you pull out. Those are your rainy day things, right? You got a lot of the outdoor ones every year. Yeah. You're 100%, right?
And that's where it's like, you know, what's the point of scout? It's to get these scouts to experience things that they have not get to in their own family environment or community. Yeah. And a lot of the stuff was all over the place. It was, you know, STEM was over here, and this activity was over here, and this fact does this, and this fact does this. And even the book itself, there was, David trying to do a giant pack event. How many activities did each rank have that aligned? There's only 2 or 3. Yeah. And so that was another thing that we looked at too, where you have now there's 5 or 6 activities and requirements that align on every single rank, so you can plan one pack outing and the entire pack can go and everybody.
Right, because like in Scout Book, you put in what events we're going to work on this activity, and you're like, ooh, there's nothing for this group.
I did one of these to this.
Yeah, this parade only counts for this day.
Yeah. So like on the den leader experience, in the handbook now you'll see there'll be a QR code, and the handbook will look the same like as Alice Happened, a little bit more clear. We removed a lot of the verbiage where there was like do this or this or this kind of thing. And the QR code, the den leader can scan that, brings them right to the website on their phone that has all the requirements right on the phone, links to examples, even like little 30-second scout videos of, hey, we're going to do this. This is a little project that we're going to do, how you can do it. It gives you resources to utilize, and then it also has these new things called activity cards. And it's almost like this little tiny activity card that has 4 pictures on it, and it talks about how much time it's going to take, how much resources. You can just do it at home with stuff in the house, or if you have to plan a little bit more. So you can look and plan ahead going, this is more time consuming. I might have to do this.
This will be really helpful for new.
Well,
so new Cub parents are like, they don't know what they know.
Yeah.
And you lose that village knowledge because when they're gone, and so like, everyone starts the wheel all over again.
Yeah, I've got 2 lions this year. Supposed to have 3, but yeah. So I've been running the lion den, just because but I went online and I found a sample plan, and here's the requirements. I'm handing it out to all the. I actually took that off on Kara the other day. I'm like, well, we went to go visit 855.
Here's what you would be doing for Lion, because the book is already remarkably.
Well,
yeah, everything you possibly.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Because I wasn't planning on being the lion den leader.
Yeah,
right. It's a 20-page pamphlet.
I know, right? Well, yeah, we have a. But I definitely blocked up. Yeah, he got So anyway, so I did at one time. I'm like, well, I got to go to this AOL event. So I came in with the plan and I gave it to Kara. Like one of the moms was like, here, can you just run this? Here's all the stuff. Bye.
Pseudo detonator right there.
And that's one thing I'm trying to work on right now is a slideshow for recruiting parents. So to get rid of that, I don't have time for this, because you can show them how you do have time for this. It's not.
Well, the thing with the Cub Scouts too, if you have a parent at every meeting up to like through Wolf.
Oh yeah,
then you'll be there.
Right.
Yeah. So
50% of it, right?
Okay, so the lion and the tiger handbooks the tiger handbook is now workbook like one. And so both workbooks now come with den leader guides and also an adult leader guide on the lion. And so then the tiger workbook comes with that den leader guide of how to conduct these meetings. But it's a workbook. It has all the activities and everything in that workbook to do those meetings. And then they move into the wolf, and that's the actual handbook. it's more of a introductory into the parent becoming a den leader.
Yeah,
It's a lot of work.
Well, the work of my wife stepped in and did because our son, well, Noah was the first year they did Lions, and our older son, he was a lion. I think he was a weed blow. So I was running this weed blow den. There wasn't anybody for the lion den. So my wife was like, "Well, here, I'll work with them." They joints, and she liked that workbook aspect because she used to. Here we go, and then just they would sit there and just kind of go through it together. And it was easier to work on a requirement versus I had done it for our older son from. Well, there was when he was a tiger, we had 4 dads, and because every parent has to be there, nobody was really like, well, I'll do it. We just sort of, here's the notebook, we passed it around, and each of them, somebody else did it. So all 4 dads did a requirement, took the workload off everybody. And then it just came when you get wolves, one dad was going to take it, they moved. So the Cub Master came to me, was like, here's your build application. There you go, here's a patch. And then, I just took it on, but it was, from wolf on, it was all out of the book. So it was just get used to it.
But are you guys moving on with Scouts at the troop level, or are you going to take some time back,
No, I'll move over. We're in the process right now because we've got a pretty big AOL den, and they want to go together, and we're trying to find the right troop.
Well, part of the problem is we're the merged pack from, we had Rock Creek, which we essentially lost Rock Creek because we had and that was your comment about the principal relationship. The principal that was there at the time that we left, right around COVID, the PTC was refusing to sign the recharter. And the prior principal was like, no, you're going to do this.
Yeah.
And then we got a new principal, and she's like, oh, I don't know what to do. And kind of just, and now we've got another new principal over there, but I mean, this is also teaching my son's 5th grade. So, but we're also spread. I mean, we got people coming from Orenco Elementary, Lennox, Rock Creek, and I think another. So we've got kids that are looking at troops down like the southwest corner of Hillsborough. And I'm like, okay, well,
we got one girl, right? Who's a great scout and a great part of our den. But we only have a couple troops last year.
Right? Yeah, I've lost 2.
Well,
I think I know there's already a roundtable plan for the year, but it's quite clear that there's probably going to have to be some revamp to the topics once the details are made available.
That's going to be very important.
And there's going to need to be an outlet because the packs that are taking full advantage of the current program is going to be a rough ride.
My question to you guys would be: I know that because my work cadence has changed significantly, and I've been asked to kind of start offloading what I'm doing outside of work to help with my work. I'm going to have to go and travel a lot more, which I told Mike that I kind of have to back off of being roundtable, Cub Scout Roundtable. I'm just curious if anyone would be willing to help him out with that or not, just because, I mean, I'm glad you guys show up, but I know that it takes a lot of more people to do it, and it's another thing on your party list. But I just told Mike, like, I've been dripping on him since the beginning. My work just told me that we need to change after, because January 1, I think, was territory.
My difficulty is my wife travels for work, so right now I'm like 2 boys are home.
Yeah, you got
and I missed the last 2.
But I thought it after my usual suspects who are here, just because I know that I try. When Greg did his thing, he is my wood bed guy.
Yeah, I'm
already
I'm
here to work too. Like,
there might be some people in 195 kids that are not aging out, but are getting older.
It might be a way to help out, just because
it's time to
pass the torch.
Do it into the big leagues.
Do it, Josh. But anyway, we also know anyone who's looking for other opportunities to try to volunteer, and maybe if they don't want to do something on time, they'll go and do something in the position. Yeah. But I do have to start back in.
Yeah. No, I mean, I have to admit, I watched you doing this. I'm like, where does he? How's he find the time for this? Yeah.
But it's it's just that I'm a night owl. I bring a 10 on both ends, and
and I take it time and get to a bunch of fire, you know. But and I just know that there's a lot of people. It's like no one expects perfection. I'm not.
It's Cub Scouts.
Yeah, you learn. We're all learning together.
Yeah.
And so it's as long as you don't. As I tell your parents, no one's expecting you to be Baby Powell when you take this role. You're not like all of a sudden I'm an Eagle Scout. Like no. Yeah.
No, actually, that's a conversation I have with every new parent coming in. I'm like, look, we're all volunteers now. And I tell them the story. Like, I came in Tiger year, like, here, you're the thing. And I'm sitting in I have no idea what I'm doing. And I'm sitting there, I brought in a bunch of balloons for the kids as a gathering exercise. And they're playing around. And Bryce Kennedy goes, hey, look, Team Tiger's playing. I'm like, huh? And then it was like the light bulb went off. I'm like, oh, yeah. Check that out. That's a requirement we've just met, right? Like, okay. So I share that story with them to kind of demonstrate that, like, you can do it. It's doable.
Yes, you can.
You just need to get creative and dynamic. And I don't know, Pack 260 seems like that's the flavor of the pack. Is like we kind of get there, we have a rough plan, and then we make it up.
Yeah. Well, it points to something that I won't be doing anytime soon, but especially as you make it sort of passable there and you start actually having to have some specific skills.
Yeah.
That's a real challenging in the curve, especially getting into below. And there's a lot of adults who either didn't have or don't remember a lot of these skills, and we need to have.
Well, and that's where the position training online
kind of because position all about rules and mission statements.
But
it's not about sitting around with some people who actually know how to tie knots or have camped before. Well, Blue actually does cover that. But the kind of more problem-based. I don't know what a flag ceremony is supposed to look like.
But you know what the cool thing is we've had the opportunity like the troop, we have like some older siblings.
You get some real
older siblings or Scout BSA troop you kind of work with, they're happy to send somebody to help with the Ray's son came and did the knots for the AOLs. And did not really great.
But they really talked about that too, getting to that,
BSA
the BSA scouts,
Genjis.
But there's a lot of great den leaders and pack leaders who struggle at that reflow transition. When the program basically goes from the arts and crafts phase to scouts. And it happened. I mean, maybe it's a little more blurred in the new program. There's a little transition in there, but it's really overnight.
Yeah, absolutely.
And all of a sudden, any parent who's had to deal with 3 toddlers in their house can manage it to all of a sudden.
And can get
what is going on?
Yeah, no, it was a Weedlow year was eye-opening. I'm like, oh, we can't really get through an entire adventure in one meeting.
Yeah, you literally have to like
with a game.
You're gonna have to take. It might take a couple meetings, and the kids might not get to the next pack meeting because we didn't finish it yet.
Yeah.
But we might clean house and get a bunch before the end. So
or you start running the thing, and he was here for half of this,
right?
and we're there for this other half of it, and so you got to think that up.
And all the meetings now are designed to be done in one.
All right. Did you stop recording, Ray? You can stop recording.
The main.
Thanks for joining.